Good evening, I'm Father Russ Carmichael, and this is Street Talk. Tonight I got a real serious show, and I want to make sure that if you got any little kids in the room, you probably should, have them stay away, because Father, as most of you know, can get when he gets upset, he can be base. I even swear like the Pope occasionally, even on public television. I've got a serious show tonight. I'm going to take a couple of minutes. I got to do a couple of things. But Street Talk tonight is about crime in New London and Safe Street Mayor. And I'm calling him a very serious Joe. I've got a lot of stuff here that I want to go over. I'm not going to take. I'll take a call from Ray, but I'm not going to take any calls, okay, till the end of the show. Okay, I want to talk about this con artist telling us how safe New London is, and I'm going to tell you, I'm not here as a priest tonight. I should take off all this stuff. Okay, I'm here as a parent. I'm here as a father. I'm here as a grandfather. I'm here as a great-grandfather. I've got kids. I own a business here in New London. I ain't playing games, and I'm sick and tired of these disgusting lies from the administration of Finizio and what he's done to the city of New London in 4 years. And I'm going to talk about crime. And I'm going to talk about crime from my expertise as an ex-convict, an ex-organized crime guy, a guy who worked multiple years, 10 years, in the police department in Arizona and retired from that, and as somebody who has a master's degree in justice. And I talk and study, and I've been all over the country talking to police. So I'm going to be talking from my expertise, okay, and I'm going to be directing it as Zak Levy. I'll talk about that in a minute. Before I get into too far, I'm going to give Dominic a few minutes. Okay, Dominic Cotton, my co-host, is sitting across the aisle from me. Paul, Senator Paul,
Paul was supposed to be out here
supposed to be here, but he's tied up.
He's in the Senate, and we had a running joke this week. We actually asked Bob Duff to see if he could let him out early so he could come on Street Talk. Bob Duff is the Senate Minority Leader, said, "I'll take it under consideration." So we want to let you know that Paul will be back at a later date. He wanted to come in here and he wanted to discuss currently what's going on in the legislation. Right. So I just wanted to make sure. I did talk to his aide this morning, and I don't think she quite understood how complicated life gets up in the Senate at this point in time. They run through till well after midnight, right. As well as do the people in the House of Representatives. So, when we originally booked it, I don't think they anticipated things getting quite as crazy as they do. There's 2 weeks left in this session.
I think he might have been shocked. He's a new senator.
He's a new senator. I don't think he quite understood that. Okay. The other ones are we have our next set of guests, which are going to be next week. We're going to have Michael Passero.
Right, Mike's on next week, right.
And we have, the week after that, we have Norm Pattis, who's a very well-known trial lawyer throughout the whole state of Connecticut.
Big time. Civil rights guy,
yep.
Serious cases, that I can't wait for this guy. He's got the book.
In the Trenches.
In the Trenches, okay? It's a book you all should read. This guy's, you did me a gift. I can't.
And then after that, we got Ray and Bobby coming on.
We got Ray, who's on the line right now, and I'm going to.
You give him 1 second. And the reason that I'm going over all this stuff, I know that you had a deep interplay on Facebook with Zak Levy, and I know he wanted to come on tonight. And Zak, you can call in and leave your phone number in with Mary Jane. I'm usually the one that books all the shows, And we do things in advance. We don't fly by the seat of our pants, unlike what the mayor does on Tuesdays, I'm sure. He doesn't really have anything planned out. We do have things planned out. Originally, this was meant for Paul Formica. So if you want to leave me off your telephone number, Zach, I know you wanted to come up, and if you still want to refute some of this stuff at the end of the show, we're about equality here, unlike some other people, and, we'd be happy to have you on. Like I said, we schedule things in advance, so this is not ad hoc the day thereof, in between a posting that you're putting on Facebook. But if you'd like to leave your number with Mary Jane, by all means, I will schedule you in and get you on the show if you want to refute some of this stuff. If not, you know what? You're welcome to discuss this on the mayor's show. He has his own show. I don't think anybody really calls in or watches it because they don't really take him seriously. But, that's a whole different scenario. So before we launched into all of that, I wanted to make sure that you understood that, it's not just, last second here and here you go. But that's the way we run here on Street Talk. We're actually organized.
Given that.
Given that.
Can we?
You can take Ray now.
I'm going to take Ray, and okay. Hello, Ray. Turn your TV down.
Hi, Father Russ.
Hey, turn your TV down.
Right.
Okay.
There you go.
May I speak to Dominic?
Yeah.
How you doing, Ray?
Hey, Dominic.
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you very much for inviting me on your TV.
You're quite welcome. We're looking forward to meeting you in person.
Bobby picked me up.
Bobby's going to pick you up. Yeah, Bobby's going to be on the show with you.
Pick me up.
He will.
You know what? We'll probably call you the week before.
Right.
So we got three more weeks. So we'll get you covered.
3 more weeks, Ray. Okay? And we'll take care of it all.
You got my number?
Yeah, we got everything.
I got you. You're programmed into my phone.
Yeah.
You call me.
We will.
We will.
We love you. Okay?
Are you going to give me a call?
Yeah, of course. We're going to call you.
The week before, one week before, I will call you and set everything up.
Father Russ?
Yep, I'm good. And I'm looking forward to having you on the show.
Hey, Father Russ.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
you doing, Father Russ?
I'm doing good,
How
Ray.
you doing?
I'm doing real good. I'm going to have Bobby pick you up, okay?
What time?
We'll call 1 week before.
We'll call and arrange it all. Don't get excited. It'll all come together, all right? Relax. We're gonna take care of it.
All right, you have a good week, all right, buddy?
Okay. Bye-bye.
Hey, Father Russ.
What? Gotta go.
How you been?
I've been good. Okay?
How you been?
I've been real good.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Take
End
care.
of the week.
Right.
I got one last thing to say here.
Go ahead.
Don't adjust the tint on your TV set. If Father gets a little red, he's mighty pissed off tonight. And on that note.
On that note, okay, I'm going to tell you, okay, I am seriously angry, okay? I'm not here as a priest tonight, okay, because my priestly thing could go out the window. I'm a parent, okay, I got an army of kids. I got 8 grandkids, okay? I got 3 great-grandchildren. I'm a business owner here in New London. I employ 7 people here in New London, okay, substantially, okay? I'm not a homeowner here in New London, okay? I almost was a homeowner, but given the condition of this house, we didn't buy the house, and my daughter wouldn't buy the house, and so I may be a homeowner someplace else real quick, okay, because of the condition of this city, and the real reason is the safety concerns I have about children and my own family living here in New London. So here we go. I'm dedicating our show tonight to the mayor's key man, Zak Levy, who stated on Facebook to me New London is safer now than it was even 4 years ago when I started living downtown. People are out, people are walking around, and businesses are being patronized. Using a political disagreement for supporting a different candidate is very different than intentionally, here's what got me, spreading misinformation that does nothing more than hurt businesses' ability to attract visitors from the region, no matter who is our next mayor. It is wrong to continue a false narrative about our city. That was Zak publication to me
And I verify that because I saw that right online.
online, okay?
Yeah.
Well, I hate to tell Zak and anyone else that thinks that the safety of this city is political to me. You have to be out of your mind to think that to begin with, Zak. First and foremost, I'm a father, not in the priest sense, and the security of my children, my own family, come first and foremost in my life. And I ain't kidding about it. Ain't nobody ever gonna hurt my kids if I can help it. You don't have to worry about courts or anything else. Anybody has never hurt my kids. And you can take that to the bank. Always has been my way. My grandchildren, my great-grandchildren are extensions of that concerns. City safety has little to do with politics. It is the reality of safety that is my direct concern. Maybe not for you, Zak, because you don't have kids. Maybe not for the mayor, because he's childless. But that's not my world. That might be yours, okay? So, I own a business here in New London. I take care of disabled people. I want them to be able to walk around this city safe. And you're telling people that this city is safe. You're nothing but a liar. You're as bad as that clown of a mayor. It isn't safe. It's not number one. It's not the most violent. It's not the most violent city in Connecticut. It doesn't even make the top 5 yet. It's number 6. What are the most dangerous cities in Connecticut? To get the lowdown on cities in Connecticut that are the most dangerous with the highest crime rates, we consulted, get this, most recent FBI Uniform Crime Report. Anybody out there with a computer, I don't care who you are, you don't have to take this at my word. You don't have to believe a single thing I say. You can check and verify every single thing, either through your computer or go to the library and look it up. Okay? Our rankings are based solely on the data publicly released each year by the FBI. A crime is a crime. So we took both violent and property crimes into account when compiling our list of Connecticut's most dangerous cities. Our list of dangerous cities, however, are ranked according to violent crimes. So we're not talking property crimes here, which my belief is if you count property crimes, we would then be number 1. But I'm not talking, we're talking violent crimes. We realize that this topic is inherently controversial in nature. It's close to home. We are aware that there are many different ways to present the data. There are different ways, okay? But I'm talking violent crimes. But when compiling this list, we chose to consider not just the murder rate, but both violent and property crimes. Our list is ranked by violent crime rate, but check each city list to get, if you want more information, you can go on House Security, and they will, in Connecticut on Google, and you can find out who the most violent cities are. New Haven, Connecticut is the most dangerous city in the state of Connecticut right now by violent crimes. New London is number 6. Number 6. Now, I am really aggravated because Zach told me everybody goes downtown and walks around and stuff like that. I want to know, in the last 4 years, how many people, if you're sitting home, raise your hand. How many of you folks have had, within one block, 3 major drug raids? 3, one, the most, the Homeland Security said it was the biggest drug raid in the history of Connecticut, okay, that we had several years ago, right here, okay, around the corner from my house, not a block away, okay, Homeland Security, FBI, Drug Enforcement, State Police said it was the most biggest drug raid in the state of Connecticut several years ago, just when Finizio became mayor. Do you remember that all over the paper? Of the 47 key people connected around the country, out of the country, Rhode Island, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, okay, and locally, of the 47 key people indicted for that organization and situation, the first time, 20 of them live right here in Connecticut. Live right here. 20 key drug, we're not talking street people, we're talking major dealers. We're talking killers. 20 of them. And you know what the first thing Finizio did? He disassembled the police department. From a mafia standpoint, listen to me, people. Listen to me good. From an organized criminal, key person when he was a young man, organized crime, convicted, longer than you could believe, from an organized crime state, viewpoint. The place gets busted. And the first thing your new mayor does, well, the very first thing he tells the police department, don't enforce drug laws. Turn your back, all right? The second thing he does is he dismantles the police department. Dismantles your police department. Your police department went from 99 to probably 60 right now. Took the key people, Captain Edwards was gone, Captain Dittman, Captain Lacey, top cops, and got rid of them.
You know, it strikes me funny. I was reading this whole article this morning, and they were talking about ISIS.
Yeah. I got that too.
And what ISIS does whenever they go in to a city, and what they do is they take out the top people like that.
Right.
Because once you take out the opposition like that, then they figure they can go in and they can do whatever they want.
Yeah. And you build up your local department to do the rest of the intelligence and everything else. That's the way you don't dismantle your police department. You upgrade it and you go in for the intelligence because you got all these clowns running around. That's not what he did.
No.
Okay, this is not what he did. You gotta understand what I'm trying to tell you people. How many people in the last 3 years had murderers running through their yard? How many people out there sitting there right now within one block of your household had shootings, had one guy come out of his house stabbed, killed? God bless Mr. Chu was the first, that gives me 4. 4 murders in 4 years within a block of your house. How many? Huh? How many? Okay. How many of you people sitting out there had 2 home invasions within a half a block of your house? 2 home, 1 in the middle of the day. How many of you people out there have neighborhood watch where you're required to have people 24/7 walking around your neighborhood to make sure that the clowns that are casing your house, your trucks, and your property ain't gonna rob you? And you gotta make sure and try to protect the lady next door who's all alone. You must all think that I live in a project, right?
No.
I live in a project, right? Because guess what? You got the project and you got Crystal Ave, which you got crime all the time. I don't live in Crystal Ave. I live at 236 Hempstead Street. Do you know what that is? It's the big red house at the top of the hill, just beside St. Sophie's, across from the multicultural school, across from the ancient cemetery. Huh? Should be the safest area in the city. Do you know what I'm talking about, folks? I'm not living in where you think all the crime is located. I'm living at the top of the hill. I'm living at Pot Hill. And this guy, this clown, is telling me how safe I am. How safe I am is, guess what? Living here, as far as you've got a chance of 1 in 94 of getting a violent crime happen to you right now in the city of New London. Now, you might not think 1 chance in 94 is too much. You say, oh, that's pretty good, Father. Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. In the state of Connecticut, you have 1 chance in actually 390-something. So you're any place other than the state except New London. Okay, that's your odd factor right now. Today, right this minute, while I'm talking to you. This guy's telling everybody that this is a safe city. And he's telling me that I'm telling you false information. I have all the verifications. I have ISIS, which you were just talking about, which talks about the 100 people arrested. I got their names and the 47 key individuals that live here. But I'm talking about murders. I'm talking about assaults. I'm talking about rapes. Okay? Okay? I'm talking about articles in the paper that says last year 8.5% the crime rate went up. Worst crime rate in decades.
Which is strange because I swear I look all over the place and they're talking about crime rates going down and violent crime rates going down.
All over the state.
All over the state.
Except here.
Yeah.
Well, if you dismantle the police department, you get rid of key people, you make a haven for, guess what? Organized crime. Now, I'm not saying, number one, an organized crime, the kind of organized crime I know about, they wouldn't even have a Finizio dumb sucker around them like him. Okay, except some of the clowns like the gang that couldn't shoot straight. But anybody, you got a lot of New York connections there, Doc. You know what I'm saying? A lot of New York connections, and then you try to sell the damn lighthouse into a guy who's connected with criminals around the country and ripped off the federal government. I start to look at this stuff and I say, if I was the Godfather, I'd be making $1 million. I'd be bankrolling Finizio because he's destroying your city. And if you think he's not destroying your city, how many of you people live a block from Prostitution Row? I had drug people selling drugs outside my house until we instigate. They don't do it anymore. Most people know why they don't do it anymore around my house. Captain Edwards can tell you why they don't do it. People don't do it around. I'll bring my guys in from Boston. Anybody selling drugs near my kids or anything else, and they'll wish to God they never heard the name Carmichael. And I ain't kidding. I lived in Home Street for 5 years. You need to ask some of the neighbors down there how we got rid of 3 drug houses. Police couldn't do nothing about it. Not that they didn't want to, they couldn't catch these clowns. drug people are smart. I don't care about drugs, actually, as long as they don't come around my house. I don't care. Well, go down the park, go down downtown where the drug trolls and the drug trolls hang around, and go sell your drugs down there. Isn't that where you hang around, Zak, you and Finizio? Okay, that's where they can go. They just need to stay away from my house.
So for the official version here, when they're doing these statistics as far as FBI,
Right,
they do crimes per 1,000 people.
exactly.
And so when you look at the amount of crimes per 1,000 people, so you take, for example, I think Bridgeport has 130,000 people. So they might have like more murders, but they don't have the same amount of murders per capita.
Per
Per
capita,
thousand.
exactly right.
So that's why,
Right.
somebody that comes along and says, oh, there were only, and I don't know how many murders there were in
I got them here.
and they only say, well, New London only had this many murders versus Bridgeport. New London only has 25,000 people. Bridgeport has 5 times as many people as New London does. So that the facts are correct within the statistics. The other part that I'll mention, and I did read through your interaction with Zak back and forth, and the part that really hits me is he made subjective comments, which if you ask one person subjectively versus getting statistics about things and getting the numbers that are that everybody agrees to, it's very different. So maybe where Zak lives downtown, like, I don't know if he lives above the bar and just has to walk downstairs and go back up to it, he probably feels comfortable being downtown. I'm not really sure. But you know what? There's a difference between different populations here too. So, I mean, I throw that out there for obviously for the discussion part of this because, like I said, statistics, they don't lie from the FBI.
We're a little city,
Yeah.
okay, mile wide, okay. I mean, we're not a big city, and crime. When you're talking crime, and when you're talking these things, and when you're talking about downtown, okay, when you're out there selling people that this place is okay, and this is one of the safest places in Connecticut, when in fact you're one of the highest, that's disingenuous. That is really disingenuous. And what really bothered me about what Zak's comment was that you're telling me that I'm spreading falsehoods, when in fact it's you and your boss. It's you and your boss, you're lying. You're not telling the truth. And he destroyed the police department. Right after a huge ISIS raid with all these criminals, he isolated the chief of police, took him right out of there. You take your 2 major captains gone. Now you got rank and file all fouled up. So how do you put together an intelligence team? And then you went from 90 cops to, I think it's 55 now. Now, let me tell you, from an organized crime standpoint, you couldn't have bought a better mayor. You couldn't have gave him millions to allow you to operate in your town. The thing that bothers me also, I'm just dealing with the drug thing, let alone the murders. Let alone the murders that are unsolved. You got 1 that got solved. You got, I think, 13 now unsolved.
That's 13 out of 25,000 people. That's
Well,
pretty high.
we're talking maybe 5 in the last 4 years since he's been in, and we got some carryover, so I don't care
Right.
about them. Okay, as far as the other ones, oh yeah, we're a mess. We're a mess. Now, you got to understand we're a small police force and stuff like that. I understand that. But when you have this kind of operation that happened here, okay, under his watch, biggest bust in the state of Connecticut. Not only Connecticut, New York, New Hampshire, and everything. That was one. Since that one, there were 3 raids on the same place, around the corner from my house. Around the corner, Zach, from my house, where my kids live. You got it? I don't care about you and your barroom trolls that go from barroom to barroom and you think you're safe. I care about my granddaughter, 18 years old, going out in the street. I care about my daughters visiting me or the one that lives with me. I don't care about you clowns. I don't want one of those guys that ran through my yard and through the cemetery with guns, accidentally shooting one of my kids, which could have happened. They killed the guy right around the corner. The home invasion down the street. My daughter took my guns away, pal. My Coast Guard, my Coast Guard officer, educated graduate of the Coast Guard Academy, just so you know, okay? That she wanted me to, right? I may have them back. I am one hot person, okay? Now, 1 to 94. We should be concerned. We should be really concerned about this type of leadership. If any one of you parents, okay, are going to go out and elect this kind of guy as your mayor, I don't know what to say. I mean, I really don't know what to say. I protect my kids. I've always protected my kids. I got a family that will protect my kids. And you ought to hope to God that you never do anything to one of mine, because you'll never ever have to worry about a frickin' courtroom. I guarantee it. You never have to worry about a courtroom, and I don't care. I don't care at my age what if I went to prison or whatever. It don't bother me. But ain't nobody gonna hurt my kids, grandkids, or anything. And if they do, you'll pay. Oh, Zach, by the way, you even got a person employed in your administration that required my protection from being stalked. You get that one now? Somebody in your administration was being stalked and the police couldn't do nothing about it. So my reputation was used to stop the stalker. Not my good reputation, my past reputation. So there you go, Zacky pal. Okay, you and your boss are nothing but liars and are conning everybody in this system, in this city. You built the worst crime. I hate to say it, but I gotta say it.
Go ahead.
You know what? The worst crime was committed by the man. As far as I'm concerned, you might not be a murderer, but you're close.
Manslaughter?
Manslaughter at least. You allowed, by not taking care of the safety of that stupid dumping area, by not hiring the proper guy, by not fixing what OSHA told you was bad, a guy got killed under your administration. You're nothing but a manslaughterer. That's a crime. You're a criminal. And if you were working at the time, Zach, you're just as guilty as he is. You didn't fix the problem. It's criminal. OSHA told you to fix it. So, Dominic, before my blood pressure really goes out,
Well, I was thinking about this administration, obviously, on the ride up here. I was thinking what people go through as they're faced with difficult circumstances. And the first thing that anybody who's facing difficult circumstances does is they deny it. which quite obviously, I think this administration has been in denial for quite a long period of time. They've been in denial, over the situations that have been ineptly handled by the whole administration. Their next step that they go through is going through anger. I've heard this mayor lash out at everybody from the council to the business community
Right.
around him, blaming everybody else, but looking at himself for his own failings. The next one you go through is what I call bargaining. It's what happened recently when you come and take a look at Passero was able to bring down your tax rate, and he's going around at unrelated events and going up to Kevin Lembo and trying to tell him, asking him a question and try to get him involved in his dispute between the city council and his administration, trying to say that, they need to raise the taxes this amount so that they're funding minimum services. Which Kevin Lembo was like, where did that come from? I didn't say anything along those lines. And here you're trying to suck him in by asking him a question and saying he's going to come in and school the council on how this should be done. Right down to, what did he start firing people when he got the idea that obviously this is like too little too late?
He fired all those, number one, the guy who was in charge, of the area down there, he had this man on his show talking about how great this guy was. Now, the guy was in the wrong job. He just didn't have the skills for the job he was in. So he has the guy on the show, he builds him up on his TV show. 3 weeks later, he fires him and other guys as being responsible for the neglect where the guy died at the transfer station. I mean, it isn't, it's like, it ain't my responsibility, it's theirs, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. Now, he's supposedly the captain of the ship, unless the ship, gets in trouble. Well, number one, if you hire people not qualified for city management work and city departments that have no experience, and you had no experience as a mayor, guess what? And I even heard people say, well, he's getting on-the-job training. On-the-job training? On-the-job training devastated the police department. Are you crazy? And then he wants to devastate the fire department. Then you don't want to fix roads. Oh, look at me.
So before you lose it.
Oh, yeah.
But I go back to, I thought when he stated what his experience was he worked in crime under the Giuliani administration. Now, I've done like full studies on Giuliani and read through his books and other things along those lines, because I actually, did this as part of a leadership course, which obviously Finizio has no leadership. But you know what? Giuliani had a plan, at least, on how he handled how things should be and policing within New York City. I don't see that happening here. There was no plan. The only plan was to dismantle it.
Well, see, that bothers me. I mean, you want to get the conspiracy theorists out here. You know what they'd be saying, okay? I mean, the way you look at it. I just want to make sure that you folks don't think, oh, gee, this is Father Russ ranting and raving, and it's only about him. Serious crime up at New London Statistics show. This is published February 26, 14, by Greg Smith of the New London Day. New London, serious crime in the city spiked by 8% last year. Now this meant 13. The number of reported robberies, burglaries at their highest rate level in at least, this was then, a decade, according to preliminary statistics provided to the Day. And guess by who?
FBI?
No,
Oh, his own
The
administration?
police department. The police department. Although the report included such non-criminal incidents, okay, when they gave this, it omitted 2 of the 3 homicides committed in the city last year. It does not include the October manslaughter case involving an infant. So they're giving you massaged statistics to keep it down even lower than a stinking 8% hike last year. The worst in decades. FBI says it's the worst. You got to see these numbers. Okay, I'm asking every parent in the city, go look at the numbers. Go to the library. Look at the FBI report. Okay, I guess you can even get our own New London police report. You gotta be kidding me. And this is in the day. This is a day. This is from the day. This is from, okay, this isn't me. This isn't me. Okay? Hey, Zak! Hey, Zak, you're gonna come on, Zak? You're gonna come on here and dispute all these figures? You're gonna dispute Homeland Security, the FBI, the Drug Enforcement Unit, the state police, and your own police department? Are you people sick or what? Oh, and this is politics, all right. Anybody that votes for this man, any parent in the city anybody that doesn't get on, okay, our Democratic chairman, Bill Sadai, and say, what are you letting us do with this man around? Anyone that doesn't go and see Reverend Hyslop and say, are you crazy? Are you think you're going to support this man? You've got to be out of your mind. He has made us an unsafe city. And we're headed and we're on the race to be number one. Number one. And where's the chief? Where's the police?
Still hidden away in negotiations over the fact that he screwed her so hard.
You gotta be kidding me.
And that's another scenario where you're gonna be paying for it, too.
Well, when you look at this, okay, she was part of that big bus. They were part of that. They helped do that. And then you put them away. Then you get rid of her. And you stick her away for years. And then you have 3 raids after. Okay, after that big bust, guess what? They tried to open up again. I know, because it's right around the corner from my house. And then they raided it again. And they got more. Okay? Instead of having a situation where normally what would happen, you have a big raid like that, they wipe off the top people, now you got all the little clowns running around, you have your intelligence organization, okay, smart police work, and you infiltrate that, you use your I know how this works, see, I've been teaching this for years. Okay, you do that, and he didn't do that. He got rid of cops. Well, he had the let's not enforce the drug laws, right? I mean, this is interesting. I mean, you got to think about this man and what we're talking about here. You think we got infiltrated by a bunch of druggies running our administration? I do. The guy wasn't even sworn in as mayor, and he said to the cops, no, don't leave everybody alone that's doing the wacky tobacco, because his house was so high in smoke, it would have floated away.
Was that Cheech and Chong that were hanging
That's
out
why,
there?
yeah, I'm going to tell you why I don't like him, and that's the reason I don't like him. I was invited to a thing, and there was so much smoke. I'm an organized crime guy. I got a serious background. Anybody want to go look it up? Massachusetts, Walpole, stuff like that. Head of the Prisoners Union, NPRA, the head of 1,200 crazy maniacs, was in the Italian gang wars and everything. That's who I am. That was my past. I don't give a crap about any of you who know. It doesn't matter. It's out there. That's what I do. Okay. I'm 1 year from my PhD in justice, but I know more about justice than most of you have any idea of. This guy, I go to his house before he was mayor. I'll go with a big party and everything, and I'm sitting in the midst of a floating smoke screen with my, if a cop went by, smelled the smoke, and they come in there, I would be doing 5 years trying to say I knew nothing about it. I left, and I met with him later on. I told him, you got to be out of your mind. You got to disassociate from the kind of people you have around you. You know, Major Skinner was his organization guy, that raped 2 women here, is one of his organization clowns. I said, you want to be mayor and you're associating with some of these individuals? He didn't like that. I was never invited to anything again, but I didn't need to be because I jumped ship. I said, just because my background was where my background is, that's not what I'm about. I'm about a safe city because I got kids. I had kids. If you're going to be about things and everything else like that, you don't want this kind of sleazebag, dirty, disgusting leadership like these clowns that have taken over your city, this cancerous sucker around here. You got to be out of your mind. You got to get rid of him. And you got to force your elected officials, every one of you. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what language you speak. I don't care what nationality you are. If you're going to church and you say you're representing the church, you need to throw Finizio out. I don't care what denomination you are. You can't be Christian and have these liars running this city.
You know what I think we should do, Father? Because quite obviously, the next step in this whole process is the Democratic Town Committee is going to get together because they are Democrats. Mm-hmm. And they're going to decide who their candidate's
going to be.
So you know what? I think what we should do is for everybody's benefit, and I'm sure you'll probably be able to get this together over the next few days, is why don't you put up the 75 people out of the 3 districts up on Street Talk so everybody knows who they are. Because you know what? The only way that you fix anything is if you use your voice. And if you see your person that's within your neighborhood and within your district and you go up to them and you say, you vote for Finizio, we got issues. And you continually go around to all those people, and I'm sure you'll have these 75 people up on Street Talk on the Facebook site. This way, you know what? You want to get rid of this and you want to get this done early, you got to send a message to Bill Sadai and the rest of the Democratic Town Committee that they should not vote this guy in, that he's done so much to disrepute this city, that the only way to be able to fix this is just get him out of here. And unlike the vote of no confidence that almost came around on him when he decided to quit, maybe he'll get the picture and decide to exit out of the race and he won't make any more of a disgrace out of himself. Because that's where this is going. You know what? I wish you followed through on the whole thing. I know you let him off of the hook once. You know what?
Well, he said he was going to quit.
Yeah, there's no letting him off the hook.
No,
obviously, you can't stick to the truth.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying, everybody asked me to come back. Well, you know what?
Who asked you?
Send the 75 people on the Democratic Town Committee a message and let them know.
Get rid of them. Get rid of them.
Don't even put them up on the ballot.
That's right.
Don't endorse them.
You can do it.
You know what? That's the only way you can fix this now. You don't even have to wait till November. Why wait that long? Get that message out. Send it out to Bill Sadai. Tell him we don't want this fool in here anymore. If you sit here and you nominate them and everybody goes through and they nominates them, you know, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. And nothing less.
You know what a disgrace he is? They hit him on the podium when the president was here. Nobody wants to say why. He couldn't be seen. They didn't want him near. The Democratic Party and the Democratic leadership, okay, hey, Finizio, I know. They didn't want you near them. They kept you so far away you couldn't get interviewed. That's the truth. Let me tell you something. As far as the Coast Guard Museum go, the admirals know they don't need you near there. If they get you around them anymore, they're not going to make any money. None of the families are going to support that fundraising there. You need to go. You need to get out of here. You quit, and you should have stayed quit.
I know one thing for sure, Kevin Lempo's going to walk the other direction next time you come to a function with him.
You shouldn't even say hi to him.
No, I hate to tell you, they're all going to be running away from you now. You think you're going to get state support up there? They're running the other direction. I'm telling you.
Let me tell you, he insulted our congressman. He insulted the Navy. Anybody who's been in the service, okay, you need to be, okay? And as far as crime, we got to do something about that. We can fix that. Okay, we got a first responder, okay, a homegrown guy, an attorney, brilliant man. I never knew this guy till he ran. I didn't know Mike Passero. We got behind him because of his background, education, and stuff like that. He's homegrown. He knows your town. He's a first. He's been protecting you folks for 30 years, running into places, into fires, while this clown has been what? Whatever.
Well, you know what? You know what says it all is where his funding's coming from.
Oh.
His funding's coming from out of state. It's not coming from here in New London like Passero's is. And you know what he's spending his funding on? He's spending his funding on a poll to see how screwed he is, and whether he should just get out of Dodge now. He's going around doing a Carlin poll to find out how screwed he is.
That's the new thing.
That's the new thing.
Hey, see you later. We're out. I'm going to tell you this, Zak Levy, okay? Call in here or whatever, I'll get you through the internet, connect you with Dominic, okay? You want to come back, you can sit here and dispute. You can dispute every single thing I've said here. You can show me statistically how we're the safe city that you're talking about and your boss is talking about. If you can do that, you're welcome on the show, okay? You ought to quit. You should have done what you did before. You quit him, you got your job, you should have stayed away from him. The guy is a liar, a bald-faced, stinking, scumbag liar. He's killing this city. That's my opinion. That is Russ Carmichael, personally, what I think of you, Daryl Finizio. You're no good, and you should leave. With that, God bless.
Next week we have Mike Passero.
Mike, oh yeah,